Welcome to Charmed Life, a radio show discussing spirituality, magic, and the unconditional love of the universe. Thanks for tuning in. And I am your host, Tricia Carr. Sorry, I didn't have my microphone close enough. Hi, everyone. I am Tricia Carr. Thank you for joining me today on Charmed Life. And if you are new to joining me here, welcome. Your timing is perfect. You may be watching live on Facebook or Periscope or on ubnradio.com, Channel 1, or you may be listening or watching an archive. You can listen to the archives as a podcast in iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and probably pretty much any other podcast outlet that you may be accessing. And you can also catch the archive of the video on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Tricia Carr. You can also, please, if you will, stay in touch with me by following me on Twitter, which is at Tricia Carr Charm, and I also have at Charmed Life 1111. And also my Facebook page is facebook.com/Tricia Carr Charm. And I do live, special live broadcasts there sometimes, spontaneous ones, different kinds of teaching, things coming through from Spirit. And also I do 2 videos a week on my YouTube channel. So I'm always posting an additional teaching up on YouTube. Sometimes I'm doing a live teaching in this community of which I am a teacher and moderator, and I will post portions of that up on my YouTube channel. So please stay in touch. And that community that I was just mentioning is called the Lightworkers Lab. It was founded by Crystal Ann Compton. And I am just so blessed to be a part of it. And if you are a spiritual seeker and you're looking for a wonderful community to grow and to fellowship, well, check out Crystal's website, crystalanccompton.com. She has amazing classes up there. And also maybe check out the Lightworkers Lab because it's just, I can't even tell you how wonderful it is. I mean, it is like church people, but like the real kind of church, like the kind that's like real good and very safe and very loving and peaceful and just really inspiring and growth oriented. So I would encourage you all to check that out. And let's see, I also wanted to tell you all about my telepathy class. That's right, telepathy, as in mind reading. No, not really, not really in mind reading. So here's the deal. Telepathy is actually our first language, the original way that we communicated. If you're a parent, then I'm sure you can relate to how, you communicated with your baby without having that kind of physical language. I think that sometimes if we question it, we think like, we are reading their cries or starting to understand their facial cues. And I mean, of course, babies are always, from the very beginning, babies are starting to try to adapt and learn the physicalized language. But the thing is, telepathy, being able to communicate energetically just with thoughts, is actually our original language. It is the language of intuition. And everyone actually uses it now, but we use it unconsciously because we, when we were babies, we started to have to adapt, like I said, and then we started to, figure out how to use the physicalized type of language. And by physicalized, I mean verbal, and I mean hand gestures and all of that other stuff, other kinds of physical cues. But what is really the driving communication is the non-physical kind of communication, which is just your thoughts. Of course, we have the emotional kind of communication, empathy and telepathy, but I'm actually teaching this class on telepathy as a language. So if you think about how we would maybe take an English class or even, French or Spanish kind of course, that is different than studying just communication in general. Whereas you might take a communication kind of study to learn how to communicate with your partner or with groups or something like that. So that's one kind of study. I'm actually isolating telepathy to a language so that we can become, really adept at that focus. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this. So the reason that I am doing this is, if you happen to catch in the archives, if you've been with me from the beginning, that I had on my show an author named Penny Pierce, and she has this amazing book called Frequency, The Power of Personal Vibration. And this is the primary reason, this bit of truth, is that we are leaving the information age and entering the intuition age, which brings with it nothing short of major transformation in the way we perceive reality. And so that's actually a quote from Penny's book. And she goes on to ask us, how do we learn the rules of this expanded vibrational world and develop the energy and consciousness skills that can help us function in it? And so I am making an attempt to answer that question to a degree. It's kind of interesting. I didn't kind of like, I'm giving it to you as though I read that in Penny's book, and then I was like, I don't know, let me answer it. It didn't come necessarily that linearly. I have been developing this for a while, and Spirit has just been bringing it to my awareness. You know, I am an animal communicator. I'm a medium as well. And with animals, we're communicating. I communicate with them telepathically. So it is my mind in the incarnate body communicating with their mind in an incarnate body. When I communicate with animals, it isn't that I'm communicating like with higher self or something like that in the way that we do with, excuse me, mediumship or something. Unless, of course, the animal is passed, and then it is a bit of mediumship. So I just started to see how this is something that humans also engage in, and as our birthright would give us the ability to do it consciously and to depend on it more with more awareness. And so the thing is, I think a lot of people, I hear some teachers that maybe, or just people in general, whether they're spiritual teachers or just, you know, us regular folk. Well, I'm a spiritual teacher, I guess. That there's a weird kind of freaked out feeling about telepathy because people could use it to harm someone else. And I tell you what, first of all, people already are using it, and they're not doing it with consciousness or skill. So there's that. And then the other thing is, it isn't that different than any other way we operate in the world. Honestly, the non-physical functioning is not different than the physical functioning. And I think that if we are already doing this and we have this ability, bringing our full consciousness to it is actually going to help us to release any kind of shadow intentions about it. And by shadow intentions, I mean something that isn't fully in the heart center kind of expression. Really looking at it all the way is going to help us to confront and release that if we actually study telepathy as a language. And I have something else really interesting to tell you in regards to this, that did you know that Facebook is developing mind-reading software? Now that sounds ominous to say it just like that, but it's so that you can actually have something, I guess, attached to your head, I guess. I don't know what the hardware would look like, but it's so that you could create messages and communicate through Facebook with your thoughts and send your thoughts to create messages. And this is not like some spooky, far-fetched thing. This has already they're using this technology. It's already developed in different kinds of medicine, I think, and different kinds of scientific, functioning. I'm not a scientist, so I can't tell you where it's being used. But I know it's like, even in a more primitive degree, they've been using it for people who don't have the full function of their body, and so they're able to use it in relationship to their devices like the wheelchair and computer and stuff. That's been going on for a long time. So this is not far-fetched. And you know how things have been speeding up with the information age? We actually went from the industrial age, where we had machines that helped us to speed things up, and then we have all of a sudden the internet and email, and that's really speeding things up. Well, it wasn't that long ago that we would have thought that being able to communicate instantaneously with someone across the world was completely far-fetched and Looney Tunes time. But now we have email and we have the internet, and you're here with me live, and I'm in Hollywood, California, and I don't know where you are, but you're not sitting in front of me physically, and we are doing it. So what's next? There is something next, and it is that moving into the intuition age, as Penny Pierce calls it. And so what is next is being able to do stuff that is quicker. So how much faster can we communicate? And that would be without having to use our faces or a computer, of course. And we created the computers and the internet to remind ourselves of what we can do already, that we can connect with one another non-locally without being in the same room. So we can also connect with one another without the physical aspect as well. So telepathy is really what's coming next. And this is why it's important. This is what's on my heart about looking at it as a language, because we had the information age, the internet and email and all that stuff. It happened. It came into our existence, and we didn't have any practice with it. I mean, it was a surprise. And we have the fallout of it, right? We have people who are bullying and the trolling and, kind of acting through the internet and email and really with the kind of different stuff that people respond to others and send them messages. And they feel as though there isn't a person on the other end, because they would never say the things that they would say that they're saying through the internet. They wouldn't say that to someone in the elevator, They just wouldn't, because they have that complete realization that that is a person on the other end. But somehow with the internet, because we had a poor practice we didn't have any practice to do it. It's like I say, that those shadow intentions weren't realized. The light wasn't brought into them. So this is what I'm asking. I'm welcoming you guys into to get practice with it, to become experts at it, to bring your full attention and your full heart and awareness, and use it with the intention of connection and with love. And so this is what I'm offering to you guys. And this coming week, I'm going to post the first lesson just on my YouTube channel, so you can have a peek at, my teaching style. But anyway, you can see my teaching style on my YouTube channel. And just go to my website, triciacarcharm.com, and you'll be able to see how to sign up for that. It's an online course. You can take it anytime at your own leisure. And there is also a component where when you submit questions, when students submit questions, then you can be a part of a quarterly newsletter where all of those questions are answered, and they're given back to that newsletter list fresh every time. So, you can continue to engage in it. I'm also going to be starting a community of people that when you go through the class, you're able to join a community where you can find other like-minded people, like-hearted people, and kindred spirits, and who are practicing telepathy, and then you can practice with one another. And it's important for me that before I really open up that telepathy community to many, is that there are many who actually go through the class. I actually have a lot of people who have taken it already, and so I'm going to start that community real soon. But there's ethics and a lot of information that's going to make you feel safe and powerful and empowered and comfortable in looking at telepathy as a language. So that's my pitch there. I know it was a little bit long, but I got really excited about it. Excuse me while I take a sip of water. And we are taking calls today. The number is 323-524-2599. And I would love for you to join in this conversation with me. You can call in and ask a spiritual question. You can ask about telepathy. You can ask about anything you want. And I also am here with my third eye open and my heart open for healing and for readings. And it looks like someone took me up on it. So I'm going to go ahead and take a call right now. Hi, you're on the air. Who's
Hi,
this?
I'm Jerome.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I'm Jerome.
Jerome, hi. How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm wonderful. Where are you calling from?
Los Angeles.
Oh, great. All right, Jerome. What is on your mind today?
I have a project I'm working with this guy named Danny, and I wanted to see whether he's going to be able to sell my project.
Oh, okay. Did you say Danny?
Yeah.
You want to see if you and Danny are aligned in this endeavor.
Yes.
Okay, so what's going on here? I understand now. I do understand why you're asking this, because there's something that is unclear. You seem to be communicating very well, and you seem to be very aligned, but it's not complete enough. The feeling about it is not complete enough. And so the way it's coming out, you kind of have, I have like this visualization of like, there's this one kind of plane where you guys are like really making a positive and active and comfortable exchange, but then there's almost like half of it and it's on top of it. And you feel like you're pursuing him a little bit and you're uncomfortable, and then he's just fuzzy. It's just like disperse, and it just, like it's like he's not present. It's not like he has bad intentions. It just feels like he's not there, and he's not connected in about, he's only like 50% connected. Is that about right? Is that what it's feeling like to you?
I think I'm not really sure. I'm just wondering whether this year he'll be able to sell the project for us.
Okay. And so I feel like Danny actually probably could use some more support staff. That at this point it is a little bit, it's kind of a lot, but I feel like it is helping him to make that, bring that into his into his experience more. So right now, I think that as it is, with decisions no new decisions being made by Danny or by you guys, that it's going to move slowly. That he has a good effort, but there's a part that is sort of missing, so it's not going to move as quickly as you're hoping it will be. And there's two ways you could respond to that. You could be frustrated and make a lot of demands on him, and that's not going to help because it just won't lubricate your relationship with him. Or you can, you could be patient and you could say, okay, well, maybe this is just the step I am right now, and then maybe outsource some of it to someone else too. I don't know if that's an option. Or you could, again, stay very patient in it, and after a short time, if it just isn't happening the way you want it to happen, then just go ahead and very peacefully cut ties. I do think that you should pursue it just a little bit more until you get closer to the launch or whatever the release kind of date is. And then you're fully welcome to make a choice. But I feel like if you do, then it's going to hold you back a little bit too. You're going to have to kind of redo some stuff. So that's why it might actually be good to go ahead and give him the opportunity to do it. But I'm going to be honest right now. It isn't fully aligned to your ambitions. It isn't going to be able to deliver as prolifically as you would like it to happen. Does that make sense?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, tell me what's not clear, and I'll clarify it.
Well, the thing is, I just have to wait until he finds a buyer for the project, and then he'll let me know that we have it sold. I mean, I'm really in the position of just waiting.
Yeah, exactly. I can feel that. And that's so maybe that's the cooperative. That's the person I see that he's still looking for. And so it isn't going to move as fast. So your question is just plainly, can Danny sell it for you? And now.
Will it happen this year?
Will it happen this year? It doesn't feel like it right now. The momentum is not. And by the way, when we intuitives and psychics and stuff, when we are making readings of future events, we're reading the energy as it is right now, according to all of the decisions that have been made in this very moment. So if nothing changed right now, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it could happen like next year, even like in the January time. But just the amount of time that we have right now, it feels like it's the decisions haven't been made to align with that today. It's not for lack of integrity on his part. It doesn't feel like lack of integrity. It feels like just some kind of ungroundedness, and also it feels like, I don't know if he actually is, but there's some kind of youth feeling about it or inexperience, and so he's still kind of grasping for that to be able to find those resources more quickly. Yeah. Does that help?
Right.
Yeah.
I appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
But there is a wonderful lesson as long as we keep staying present. And when we pick partners like that and things aren't happening according to the speed of our ambition, there's still a great lesson to learn. Jerome could be learning about his own empowerment, or he could be learning about patience and connection. There's all kinds of stuff you can choose to learn. And well, that was a fun call. All right. So again, 323-524-2599. And what tends to happen is I get a lot of phone calls at the end, and then folks don't really get in because there's not enough time left. So if you're thinking about calling and you either do or don't get on with me, just know that if you listen to it, there's usually Spirit organizes it so that there are messages for all of us. And we do have another call, so let's bring that person on. Hi, who's this? Hello?
This is Jason.
Hi, Jason. I got two men right from the beginning. That's awesome. Not to be sexist, but I just usually, women are typically the ones who call in. And I love you all. Jason, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, is it nice and springy right now? Is the weather beautiful?
It's about to storm.
It's what?
It's about to storm.
Storm.
About to rain.
Oh, yeah, well, you're lucky. We don't get much storm here in LA. All right. Well, Jason, what's on your mind?
I just had someone who'd been a very big part of my life for a long time pass away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My uncle and her got divorced several years ago, but I still considered her my aunt. And I felt kind of guilty for a while because there wasn't much contact with us, but she had moved on, and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
She deserved to, and she was with her family, and that's what she needed to do. But her family didn't communicate with us anymore, and I can understand that. Even though we didn't have anything to do with
with
the
this.
reason why they divorced, but the last time I talked to her was probably a year ago, and I told her that she would always be my aunt because she had been in my life since I can remember, probably since I was like 4 or 5 years old.
And so, Jason, did she pass? Tell me her name if you don't mind.
Her name was Cheryl.
Cheryl, okay. And she passed, was this about, it seems like pretty within a month ago?
Yeah, it was just like a week ago.
Oh, only a week ago? Jason, my father passed away 9 days ago, so I understand exactly where you are in the process.
Her family didn't have to let us know at all, and it was very quick. They just found out 8 weeks ago it was from cancer, and it just spread very quickly. And I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Well, let me tell you,
and
you know that love that you feel. I understand why you have some kind of guilt because you feel like that not having the specific interaction with the love, that somehow you were betraying it, but that's not true. The love that you feel and the love that you shared, and that it's like she was very much, it's not quite a motherly figure, but she was so loving, and she was really that quintessential aunt, like that friend and relative, but she also, cared for you like a junior, relative. That's eternal, and that always works. And she's actually right now, so I'm going to talk right now about this subject, about what happens when we pass and in that whole transition. But I promise you that your relationship isn't over, and now you can really experience it in where it's really just the love. So we had a lot of stuff with the family and all of that mess that had, like you say, nothing to do with you, and now that's all free and clear, because now that is also going into Mother Earth and being transmuted, just like the physical body is. So, and you're reaching out today because you're in some grief, but I feel like the guilt is really something that is making you uncomfortable. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guilt is that's I'm sure you've heard of survivor's guilt, but you didn't betray her. You didn't betray her in any way. We have sometimes things just happen naturally with relationships where we sort of drift apart for one reason or another, or for no particular reason, but it's just because we just need other things at the time. And I think that you are so sensitive, and you're aware of how she and your uncle, they had their issues, and it just all like that you didn't at some point release it fully, and you felt in between, because you kind of have more affection for her than you do like this side, but you didn't have to ever pick sides, but it felt really awkward for you. And I could feel that there's actually some grief that you've been experiencing for a while.
I did pick sides, so I picked her side.
Right. But you're physically with your side, you know what I mean? Like, you're physically connected to your side of the family, so it feels very awkward. But, that you actually, what's happening, too, is because you already were grieving and mourning how the two of you weren't in one another's lives more regularly. That was already happening, but it was sort of happening subliminally. It was sort of happening covertly, and then you just didn't have the opportunity before no one really kind of told you, hey, listen, it's okay to mourn the fact that your relationship is changing and it's turning into something else for a while. But the love never changes. And so now it's just kind of all coming up. It's just all coming up. But, I'm feeling for her right now. She's actually in a part of her process that's called the life review. She's a beautiful, beautiful soul. And so she's in life review right now. So her giving us really clear messages, what she's doing is she's sending us smiles and she's sending warmth and love. And she is saying, feeling very much that she's going to be visiting you in dreams. It feels like it might be in about 2 to 3 months. And that's because of her, where she is in her healing and that process, but also for you, because you're going to need some time to release that guilt and to get through the grief that is heavier. And then you're going to be able to be more in that lighter space, that relaxed place of receptivity to be able to connect with her. Like right now, if she were to, let's just say if she did visit you in dreams, it would make you feel really sad because you're really kind of dealing with the guilt piece, which, by the way, is completely unwarranted. And I know you know that intellectually, but just keep leaning into it, even with your intellect, and allowing it to release, because it's not real. That's an illusion, the guilt piece. You understand that intellectually, right? You know that logically there's no reason why I should be guilty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So there you go. So
I do.
Yeah, so we have all these weird conflicts, just that part of it that is logical, and it's also loving, because it's you loving yourself and accepting yourself and saying like, okay, I know I didn't do anything wrong. My intentions were good and we all did the best we could. And that's another thing to focus on too, is we're all doing the best we can. We all are. We all have been and we all are. And if you can, that feels like that could be a really good affirmation for you, because it can help you to stay in that place of forgiveness and acceptance for everyone involved. And right, because I know you could feel that, even if some people are a little more unconscious. It's like, well, I know you could even be like, well, I know his background, and I know what's happened to him. I'm sure he's doing the best he can, and just staying in that kind of awareness, that's really going to be very healing for you. And for you and your relationships with everyone. But your relationship with your Aunt Cheryl is solid. And it's going to be really beautiful. I feel very much you're going to feel her as a spirit guide. And that's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a very fulfilling, comforting, and empowering experience when you guys get to that place. And it won't be too long, really. It won't be too long.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's very, very beautiful. I could feel her in you. And so a piece of her is in your heart forever. She's a part of your makeup. There's no two ways about it. She's a part of you. Love never dies. It's impossible for it to die. Love is the only thing that really is. And anything that isn't love is just the absence of love. And so that love that you two created and shared, it's a part of you. And there's no way you could ever lose it. And I'm not just saying this like a greeting card thing. I mean it. That's like the physical laws. Quantum physics is going to figure this out and be able to put it on paper someday. They're getting close. So it's real. I mean it. All right.
No, I believe you. You did a reading for me.
Oh, I did? Okay, good.
Before.
When was that? On the show?
No, not on the show.
Oh. I know who you are.
I said.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't want to divulge it, but I know who you are. And it was another female with
That's
a lot
fine.
more hair. With a lot more hair.
Yeah, with a lot more hair.
I feel you now, Jason. I can feel who you are. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for staying connected. You're so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I just love your heart so much. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry, sweetheart.
That's okay. You're amazing.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jason, will you call back again? I would love to stay in touch and let me know how it's going with your process.
Absolutely.
All right, sweetie. Thank you for calling, and thanks for staying in touch.
Absolutely.
All right. Talk to you again.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. He's so beautiful. Well, we keep having calls, so I'm gonna keep going with calls then. Hi there, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hi, my name is Angel.
Oh, well, bless you. I'm sure you're aptly named. I have a cousin named Angel. You're not my cousin, are you? You don't sound like her.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I had wondered about having a reading done.
Okay.
Um, I've got, gosh, all kinds of issues going on. Um, my health, my husband's health, my father's health,
Mm.
um, concerns about all my kids,
Mm.
and money.
Okay. Well, yeah, I feel like it feels like a storm for you right now, like it's chaotic, but you make
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you make a big effort to try to like ground and stay positive, and that's great. And I just want you to know that you can up level from that too. You're doing such a great job with trying to stay positive, trying to stay grounded, and sometimes you almost even feel like I'm being phony, that I'm trying so hard to be
Yeah.
positive, but you're not. You're just turning that attention to the higher truth, which is the groundedness, the positivity. And what I mean by grounded is, if you can imagine, it's like if you're in a tornado and you're just spinning around up at the top of it,
Hmm.
it would be better if you could be down on the ground with Mother Earth, and she's going to save you.
Right.
And Mother Earth does save us. Mother Earth,
Right.
we grew from Mother Earth. So let me see. Let's pick one.
Right.
I can pick one for you because I can feel one that's a little more forward, and it feels like the. So I wanted to say at the beginning, love relationship, and you mentioned both yours and your husband's health. Um, so it
Hmm.
feels like it is actually all of this is creating some tension with you, and there's actually a little bit of sadness that you guys are not having kind of the flow of connection and love, and it actually worries you, even though you're like, there's no way, you know what I mean? Like it's not like you think you guys are going to split up, but there's something that worries
Right.
you about you not being able to have the connection that is easy and
Right.
affectionate and loving because of all of the chaos. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
let me, and you're wondering, like, what does he think? What does he think? Is he like starting to question it and all that kind of stuff? He isn't really. That is your tender heart being more aware of that. And it's a good thing because it's more your job in the relationship to reach out and be that passionate, soft, connective presence. Um, and he's very
Hmm.
receptive to it. It's like, I can feel like when you guys started, you were the one who was like, here's my passion, here's the love. And it melted him, and that's still
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's still your job, that's still your dynamic. So release the fear about it, because you're still just as adept, even more skilled at being that here's the love and here's the passion. You're even more skilled at that than you were when you first got together. It's just it seemed easier then because you didn't have any of the life stuff yet, so it was a little clearer. You're
Yeah.
even better at it. So
True. True.
yeah, so just but all you have to do, each is, every single moment and every single step of the way is the opportunity. Every single choice is just as important. Every single moment is just as profound. So in this moment, you can tap into that purity of the how you were the instigator of the connection in that particular way. Just tap into that purity, because
Hmm.
if you look back at her, at the angel of however many years ago, and there's so much clarity,
Right.
and you can bring her just that clarity and that space where was no chaos, and you have that skill and even more. Just tap into that, and then you can activate it, and then that will help you to not pay attention to the chaos for a moment, and then just pay attention to that, because
Right.
then when you do that, that's going to actually help ground you as well, is having that affection,
Okay.
that heart connection with your husband. I mean, you've never lost it, but being able to
Hmm.
bring your awareness to it is going to make you feel so much more peaceful and like have home, because you two are home to one another.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
tapping into that, so you don't feel the worry, and then you're going to feel your superpower. Does that make sense? You're super
Yeah.
powerful. All right, so let me just feel around. I'm gonna just right now, because I work with an energy as well. So with your permission, can I just give you
Hmm.
some light and move some things around a little bit so you feel a little more peace and clarity? Would that work?
Sure.
Okay, great. So
Sure.
I'm just collecting like this beautiful ball of light, this life force energy, and it wants to just spread all around you, and kind of like around the outside of your auric field. So the auric field is like your electromagnetic magnetic field.
Hmm.
And so it's just kind of
Right.
coating all around it. As it does, it's bringing out some of that debris, some of that clutter, some of that emotional noise and worry and concern.
Yeah.
And it's like it's
Okay.
magnetizing it out, and it transmutes it out into into the stratosphere, where it's just changed back into neutral and high vibrational light. And as it does that, it's bringing some of that out,
Okay.
just clearing you out, and then it's releasing that. And now we're bringing in some really powerful healing. It's like green and it's pink and it's sparkly silver, and it's just coming into your field, and it's resting right in the center of your heart, because you're such a powerful healer and connector and just lover. And it's just helping you to bring awareness there and know that that's actually your truth and that's actually your strength. So drink a lot of water today. If you feel like you need to take a nap later today, that would be a good idea. And just you may
Okay.
and just treat yourself really good. Maybe watch a fun little movie or something, and just keep your spirits lighter right now. And I'm getting a charge. I just want to acknowledge that I'm getting a sort of ping, a charge in the lower pelvic area. Is this where some of your health issues are? It's maybe the gut area, or it's somewhere, or it could be the.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's all right. So just the knowing that since we just activated and gave a lot of support and extra charge up to the heart is a higher chakra, and then down the higher chakras or the higher energy centers can heal the lower. So that is coming down into that area in the physical body and in the spiritual body as well. And you're going to feel you'll feel some relief there too. Just keep placing that. That's your strength. That's your superpower, is the heart. And so I just want to acknowledge that Spirit understands the issues in the physical body as well, and just that's being healed as well. We are all connected. We have access to the infinite healing. Your body is an oracle, and it is So down there in that area, that's where that worry is kind of developing too. So we're just going to release that and keep bringing that attention up to the powerful center of the heart, where the love is.
Okay.
All right, sweetie. Well, thank you so much for calling, Angel. I'm so nice to meet you.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. Stay in touch, honey. Good luck.
All right. You take care. Bye-bye.
Blessings, sweetie. All right, we have another caller. Let's see. I do want to. I'll get to my topic for a few minutes at the end. Well, I'm just gonna move with the flow. So let's take another caller then. Hi there, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
This is Anna.
Hi, Anna. Where are you calling from?
I'm actually staying in Torrance right now, but I live in Orange County, so I'm not too far from you.
Oh, great. Yeah, I actually went to high school. I went to Buena Park High School in Orange County.
Woo, Laura.
Oh, so what's on your mind today?
Career and job issues for the last few years. I get all excited and I have the interviews, and like a day before they cancel, or the last one was all excited. So the VP's going to call you. Get an email last week. Oh, I'm sorry, the job's been put on hold. There's stuff that's more important in our sales department. At the same time, I had like almost 2 offers. I thought I was going to get 2 offers in a couple of weeks. The second one said, well, try out working. Worked an event for them. Waited a week, sent a thank you letter. And that's a thank you letter I sent last week. So I don't know if I should even be working anymore. Just taking part-time temp jobs are driving me up the wall. I do it to get by, but I'm frustrated and depressed.
I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so what I'm picking up here is actually, it makes a lot of sense that some of these things are falling through, and this is why. It's not that you aren't aligned with them. It's that in all of the practical ways, and that they wouldn't really be greatly benefited by having you. There is, I feel, in you a little bit of hesitance, because you also have this other seeking that's going on, and you have a lot to give, right? You have a lot of like soul kind of connection kind of work to give, a lot of creativity. And so these jobs, you're like, if I throw, this is all it's sort of subliminal, but if you can tell me if you feel these emotions make a little bit of sense. There's a little concern that if I commit to that, will I lose that seeking? Will I lose that opportunity to continue to pursue my greater passions? Does this make a little sense? You have these greater passions that you really want to pursue
Yes.
and fulfill. And those jobs are great. And you, like you say, get by. But we do better.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do more than get by. And you want to find that. You want to feel the excelling, not just get by, excel. And so there's a little bit of dissonance there between, if I get this job, I'm only going to be getting by. And I won't have the opportunity to pursue the passions and excel. And so the thing is, you can actually do both. But you can have the job and still pursue the passions and pursue excelling. So just know that if you do get these jobs, that you still have that ability. You have plenty of time and you have plenty of space. I think that society tells us there's very little time and you're not very good at things. And you know what I mean? Like this whole kind of feeling of being in the rat race. You can actually work 8 hours a day and then also have a lot of passion and excellence to pursue. So I feel like what's good right now, since you've created this void, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it like, I mean by created it as in the highest self, kind of created it. See it as an opportunity, even though I know it's a little uncomfortable because you need the income, and that's real, and we're not negating it by giving ourselves the perspective for a moment, the context of a fertile void. So this is a great opportunity. I would say do some more inner work, do some study, put down those passions, even if they start out just like, I don't know what it is, but it's a feeling, and start to list the feelings out, and then start to list the things. Let your imagination take you away in the place where you have the passions to pursue. And then when you feel more connected to those and that they're really yours, you see them really fully, then you can get those other jobs if you want to, or you're going to, you know what I mean, or something else will develop. But the point is, you need to feel more connected to that ability to pursue the passionate kind of work. Does that make some sense? Do you understand that?
There's a lot of passions I have, but I can't make a living at them. That's all. You know what? I'll do them on the side. I'll do because I feel I'm very good remote viewer and a medical intuitive. I'm going to be able to see people's diseases, and I want to be able to heal them like people I know. But then on the other hand, it's like, great, I can't make a living at that. So I'm like, I got to have the other job where it has these skills of technology or graphics to get by, and I just need a job to make a living while I am pursuing my dream.
Well, I only have a few minutes left here, but I have to tell you that I know plenty of people who are making a living at a medical intuitive. I understand you're saying I can't do that today because I don't have the infrastructure or the whatever, or the network and all that kind of stuff. But I can't make a living at that because it's a outlandish thing. That's society. That's egoic conditioning, and so I just want you to not think that it's one or the other. That I can't do this if I do that. You know what I mean? Go ahead and own that right now, because that's God's work, honey. Medical intuitive. I also, did you hear the top of the show? I talked about the Lightworkers Lab. It's a great place to start connecting with.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Listen to the beginning of the show. You're on Facebook?
Okay.
Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, great. So there's a spiritual community called the Lightworkers Lab where we all support each other, and there's a lot of development and resources for light workers like yourself who are naturally gifted and talented. And it's just a wonderful place to be able to find that connection. You don't have to release medical intuition or any of your other passions to be able to get the other job, and getting the other job doesn't negate them. And I want you to try to find a way to not listen to that it's not possible, because in God, all things are possible. And you have this gift for a reason. So just don't put any pressure on yourself about it has to mean this and I have to, you know what I mean? Like, that's all outside noise. I actually just did a video on my YouTube channel called The Manifesting Menu. And it's, please go to my YouTube channel. I put it up just last week, and it talks about this very specifically. When you are having something that you want to manifest, but you say, I can't do it because nobody else does that, and that's just not how the world works, that there's a way to release that. And I actually address that. Oh, I want to stay in touch with you, Anna. Are you there? Oh, I can't find her. I think we have lost her. All right. Well,
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay, cool. Cool. There was a little.
Hello?
Yeah, there must have been a hitch in the reception. I only have a couple minutes left, sweetheart, but please go and find that video of mine, and then also please find the Lightworkers Lab and see if that interests you about joining that community. But yeah,
Okay.
just
Great.
connect with those passions and own them. Don't think you have to do anything with them at all right now. But you have some dissonance about being able to connect with those paying jobs because you have in this soul level fear of losing your passions, and you don't have to put any pressure on what it means to do one or the other. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. I appreciate you. How much time do I have left, Jarvis? 2 minutes. Okay. So what I didn't talk about today was mediumship and crossing over. Maybe we did a little bit because of Jason's call, and we talked about the life review process. So I think I'm going to have to save that for a second show. But I'm actually going to put a video of a little bit of that topic on my YouTube channel. So go to that channel, youtube.com/Tricia Carr, and I wanted to talk about my father's passing, so I just want to go ahead and mention that right now, that my father did pass 9 days ago. And I think I do need to post a video separately of that and that whole experience. But I feel really blessed because he did last night, even though he's in that process of doing the life review, he actually sent me a message in a dream just of he's doing okay. And so I just want you guys, I guess I'll just end by saying that love never dies, and consciousness and energy, it is never destroyed. It can't be destroyed. We know that scientifically. So, just keep pursuing the love in your heart. That is actually your power. That is your own oracle. Your heart is your own oracle. So I guess that'll do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you all, and I appreciate you tuning in. Please do like, subscribe, share, comment, because when you do that, you're joining in this conversation. You're joining your light to the light of the world, and you're increasing the frequency of love and light in this plane. And so I appreciate you, and thank you for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.